Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very first podcast, Conversations with Shreya. And in today's podcast, we have a very special guest, Dr. Shruti Ravichandran. In today's podcast, we are going to uncover the life of a medical student, how the UG preparation has been, and how her journey as a med student was. So let's get started. What inspired you to become a doctor in the first place?
I was not really going to get into medicine initially. I wanted to get into research like biochemistry, and as you know, that I had done like 1 year of biochemistry initially. But then, when I read about biochemistry as such, it was very interesting and how the cells work, how the molecules and all work, and it made me feel like I wanted to know how the human body works before I get into any kind of research. I wanted to know how every system works. It was very interesting to me. So personally, so I thought, in that mindset, I entered med school because I wanted to have a full idea of the body before I could get into research. I was still interested in research. So after that, but then as I went along the way, it was like full of ups and downs. And, as with years, interests change. So, and I started interacting with patients, and it that satisfaction you get when they look up to you, they listen to what you have to say, and you make an impact. So that made me feel like, okay, my focus shifted from research into patient care, and direct patient care. So that's why I did not get into research. So what I want to do is now further I just want to continue interacting with patients, and like direct, like patient contact should be there. So currently research is on hold, but and also it's not like research is not a part of meds, like any professional who's working with patients also. Right. You do conduct researches, but not the typical research you imagine, someone wearing a white coat and then clinking with test tubes and all that. So this is research studies which involves patients, and also I can also get into that if I'm really interested. So that's what my aim is, to continue patient care and start research alongside.
Interesting. And how has your medical journey been? The 5 years, 5 grueling years of MBBS, as some people state it as. So, how has that been?
Medical students will agree with me, it's full of ups and downs, and you you question a lot of times if you really want to continue with this. You question yourself a lot. You think, why did I even take up medicine? A lot of people will think this, and it's not, many people get into this with different expectations, different reasons for getting into it. Like, they want to, they are interested in serving people. That is one thing. Or like I said, research. They're interested in the human body, and everyone knows what they have signed up for, but it doesn't hit them until you are actually doing it. In school, you are like one of the topmost students, and you keep getting validation for it, like, oh, you're a good student, you get, and you easily crack exams in like 11th, 12th and all that. Till that time, the syllabus is not proportionate to the amount of hard work you need to do. Like, syllabus is there, and you need to work hard, but not that much. You can get through. But when you enter med school, you see people who are the same level as you or even better, and everyone is competitive. Everyone, it may seem like people are not like, college is a time when you have to enjoy, and like it has to be a time where you balance everything. So, but people in med school, somehow a lot of them find the balance, a good balance, and they both study as well as enjoy. Some people are not able to do that. They kind of get into that trap of, I need to get better at this, I need to score better, and they kind of think, oh, all this is a distraction. So there are different kinds of students, and every student leads a different kind of life, but everyone faces this difficulty of feeling that they are not doing enough. Or so med school is, and when you're faced with such heavy syllabus, and there are so many reference books, and also you don't know where to really restrict yourself to, and then with this overload of information you get overwhelmed. So, and alongside this, you also have something in back of your mind, need PG. You have to do a PG, so you have to start prepare. people nowadays, they start preparing from first year for the NEET PG entrance exam, and they get into these coaching platforms which give like specific these repeated questions and the topics which are repeated, so they focus a lot on that, and these students start preparing from the first year itself. So that is let's insane to me. I didn't think like, even probably when I had started, I uh, joined MBBS in 2015. So even from that time, some people were there who started their prep, but mostly people were like trying to get the mood of how med school will be. So but now I'm hearing like my juniors and all, they are asking about, oh, first year, should I join this and this platform, and when do I start, how do I start? I'm like, okay, wow, these people are it's how they say कि now fetus मतलब जैसे fetus के time पे ही उसको he wants to start college kind of that kind of thing. So मुझे तो ऐसे लग रहा है these fetuses are trying to prepare for the exam, but it's a good thing also in the sense that they are trying to be prepared early, but it creates a lot of stress. You have to do this also, you have to focus on class, and also there's this thing, oh, it's college time, I do want to enjoy also. So to strike that balance is tough, but you need to strike the balance. You can't just focus on, because life is not just the exam or just the study material, you have the rest of it. So
So Shruti, you spoke about the importance of having balance. You know, you should study, but at the same time, indulge in activities that will help you decompress, to help you de-stress. So, like, what were some things that you did to build that balance between your studies and between the things that you wanted to do, that you like doing, or hobbies? So what were some of the things that you did to establish that balance during your med school? Yeah.
there are a lot of opportunities in whichever college you go. You have these fests, and even the uh, crowd around you, it makes you want to get into these new things. Like you want to try something new, you get into a dance club or a music club. So I did initially kind of get into a music club, and like I went, and it was quite good. These like-minded people who all enjoy music, so you just go attend these sessions and all, kind of jam with them. So this was something which I enjoyed, but I didn't go for it for a very long time. But then that's something I enjoyed. And apart from that, I also took part in one or two quizzes. Uh, there in our college, there were like both these academic and non-academic. There was like this pop quiz popular about pop culture and all that. So I once took part in that. And then there's another emergency medicine quiz, which was also quite interesting. So they give scenarios and you have to. So this is something. I mean, this was academic, but the way in which it's structured, you kind of enjoy doing it rather than just sitting and studying something, right? So that is something I liked. I like to go on walks also. So the place where I was, KMC Manipal, the campus was huge. So I went out for a walk, jog or something, and there's like a good, nice garden at the end. There's something called end point. So I went till there, and then I used to. It was quite green, and also it was quite peaceful.
What were the exams that you gave? And from what I remember, you entered med school in 2015. So what were the exams? So right now we have NEET UG. So did you write NEET? And how did you go about preparing for NEET? What are some of the strategies that you used while preparing for NEET UG?
When I joined this med school, there was no NEET UG. It was all separate exams. So see, the thing is, the next year was the scapegoat year basically. They had to give NEET UG. So, but before that, my batch, we gave these few exams, AIPMT. So I'm in Maharashtra, so I gave Maharashtra CET. AIPMT is All India Pre Medical Test. Maharashtra CET, Common Entrance Test, and then these deemed universities which take in MBBS students, they had their separate exams like Bharati Vidyapeeth, all that. So I gave Manipal exam, the separate entrance exam also. These are all online exams that time. So currently, what I know of is it's not an online exam; it's a written it's OMR sheet wala exam. During that time, two three of these exams were online. Two three of them were like paper, pen and paper. So that's so we gave multiple exams, three, four, four, five exams we gave, and the prep for it was what our holy grail was NCRT, right? So and again now whenever there's an exam there is a coaching institute. So I for personal reasons I didn't take up a coaching institute to join. I didn't get through in my first attempt. I gave a second attempt, that too Manipal ka this one entrance, separate entrance, and I got in through that. So but the first year I didn't get in, so I couldn't, I'm not a person who can sit at home, so I joined BSc biochemistry and did 1 year of that, just so that I can learn. And and also alongside I prepared MCQs and all that. So see, mostly for people who are getting into med school, the basics, I would, if you're not someone who's very disciplined with themselves, I would recommend that you join a coaching institute, because they instill that discipline in you. They make you do regular. See, for any exam, revision is important. The revision is the most important thing, basically. So these institute, they make you revise, they make you practice again and again all these tests. They keep holding these uh, grand tests and all that every few weeks, I guess. So and even before that they'll give you subject tests or something like that. So I would say that you, if you can afford it, you can join a coaching institute, if you're not, if you're lacking that discipline. If not, or you could join, see there are different plans. There are video lecture plus MCQ plus tests wala plan. There are also only MCQs and tests wala plan, which you can self pace yourself, so you don't need video lectures maybe, and you can study from NCRT books and solve questions, because mostly more than whatever source you're reading from, I mean the source is important, like it may it be video lectures or NCRT books, but more than anything it's the knack of solving questions. You need to know how to solve the questions. That is an art in itself. So if so, even if you feel that okay, I can study from NCRT, I don't need the whole package of the coaching institute, you can maybe take up something like MCQ. I don't know what the plans are available or anything, but you can maybe check it out. There might be some combination of only tests or something like that. So that you can have an ability to assess how you're improving as you. And you know, what I suggested, start doing tests early. Don't go, don't go to the last minute to start solving tests. You start it like a few months before the exam itself, like at least 3 or 4 months before exam. People, so because you need to know how to face it, face the exam. A lot of times we don't start out with MCQs, or we get afraid to see how we are performing in that one test, that 180 marks ka whatever. So I suggest to get over that fear, you start solving tests quite early on. uh, I mean, I don't mean to say you need to solve it every day or every week or something. Maybe once in a month or once in 2 weeks or something like that. Start 4 months before or 5 months before, and see, by this time already you should be solving questions which are previously repeated. This is one thing also which people say, ki you have to solve previous year questions. So this is something you start beforehand itself, but this is not timed, or it's not like mixed all the subjects together. So you solve previous year questions based on the topic which you are studying. So if you're studying some topic, what are the previous year questions, you're going to study that along. So I would suggest that you study it along with that. So when you're reading a topic, you solve questions of that topic, and then you mark the questions which were there before, which were previous year questions. Okay. Mark it and keep, because later you'll have to refer to it again. Okay. You, so usually you do like one or you do 3 readings or something like that. Depends on from person to person, because you need to do 3 to 4 readings to have it retained in your mind. First reading, you always do like you go through the whole syllabus. You have to read everything, because even if there is something called previous year questions, people sometimes, these boards, medical boards, they can sometimes ask some questions which are not even in the syllabus, like not even the syllabus, not even in the previous year questions. They are just somewhere out of nowhere. You don't even expect them. So you need to be aware, at least uh, preliminarily, about other topics also which are not previous year. So read, the first reading should be everything, and you devote some time to that. Like now in NEET UG you have 3 subjects: physics, chemistry and biology, which has zoology and botany, right? So you have to set a target. If you now, for most people who are giving NEET UG, you start prep in 11th 12th itself. So obviously you will start all this preparation quite beforehand. Right. So ideally at least 1 year before you should start everything. So in 12th, when you're giving boards and all, I know it is difficult to manage along with the boards ka preparation, because not for all the boards you are studying, and for boards also you study in a different way. You are studying to give long answer exams, right? Not MCQs. So you might not be able to balance it, but you can try. You can devote like 4 hours per day for MCQs, for the entrance exam prep per se. Apart from the time you are studying for this, at least 2 hours you should devote every day.
So coming back to practice and study technique. So we teach our students, like, so there are some validated study techniques like Pomodoro technique or Feynman technique. So I don't want to get into the technical details. Basically, studying for 25 minutes, taking a break for 10 minutes, and doing it for like three multiple rounds. So something like that. So did you use any specific study techniques while you were preparing for NEET and during your med school? Did you follow any strategy to, because NEET syllabus is vast. It's and it's not just biology. There's also physics, chemistry. So yeah, how do you was there any strategy that you followed to cover the syllabus?
In my drop year in NEET, so what I did was, I didn't join a coaching institute. So what I did, I was studying from NCRT books, the topics and all, according to whatever topics were there. And then later, you have this target you set for day, like daily you set a target. It's not about the time initially. Later on you have to start focusing on how how much time you solve it in. But initially I used to keep this target of, okay, I need to solve like 50 questions per day. Okay. So that target has to be finished. Whether you finish it in 1 hour, you finish it in 5 hours, whatever it is. So you start slow. You don't overwhelm yourself. You start slow. Initially, at least like for 1 week or for 2 weeks, you do this 50 questions per day. Then you increase it to 100. So uh, it depends from person to person. For some, this is what study techniques and methods depends. For some, it might work. For something else will work. So, but it is most important whatever time you are studying. So even if you study for like 5 hours or so in a day, it I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but it's more about what you have covered and what you have effectively covered. And so it doesn't. So it's not about the time per se. It's about how much you're covering in a day. So for that, you need to set a target. If ideally, if the previous day itself you can set a target for next day, I'm going to solve 50 questions, and you try to finish that within the day. So that is your thing. You have to finish this, and you have to increase your targets. Like how during this exercising, when you do strength training, you say that you don't continue with the same weights all the time. You have to increase either the number of reps or the weight itself, right, for the muscle to improve. So this is the same thing. You don't stick to the same number of questions continuously. You have to somewhere increase it. So it's the practice. And this is not something which is like, I know matlab YouTube mein or people put these videos ki how to crack this exam in 3 months or in 4 months. I mean, it is helpful. It gives you hope that acha, I can crack this in 4 months, and they give some strategies to do that. I that is a good thing. It gives me hope also sometimes when I'm preparing. But you need to be, you need to build up this practice of doing it every day. So for that you have to start quite before. Like even if you're not doing it like 5 hours or 8 hours a day, you should at least start out with 3 hours or 4, like 3 hours at least you should start out with, so that you don't get overwhelmed in the end. So what I suggest for people, you should start before. You should not wait till 4 months or 5 months before exam and like do a speed run or something like that.
How did you deal with failures? I'm sure medical school would have been a place of intense pressure and stress, and you might have come across failures and low points. How did you deal with failures during your med school?
So it's not always like you kind of channelize it into a good thing. I Now that we have the phone easily available, internet, geo internet, freely available to us, so whenever we are faced with any difficulty, it's very natural to just escape. So that's what I did a lot of times, just escaped into the internet, kind of doom scrolled and all that. All this, these, a lot of people would relate to this, I guess. But for the major things which I could not run away from, which I have to face, I think it's important the people you surround yourself with. People who don't, who want good for you, who don't utilize your weakness as an advantage, or who know, like, who have your back. So I had two friends. I really appreciate their presence, and they are still friends with me now. So they were really there for me for whenever I was going through a tough time, or I was scared. I was looking at the syllabus. It was like it was very overwhelming for me. So I would start like it if I have to cover syllabus and then I did not feel like, or I felt like this is too much for me, then a lot of time these friends, like I'll go to their rooms or something and then we would discuss stuff together, or like otherwise even if not study, just to have a break, I'll just talk to them, and they're staying just across from me. So this is what I did to deal with the stress of med school.
I just have one last question, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers would be interested in understanding more about this. This is about NEET paper leak. A couple of years ago, we did witness a NEET paper leak in our country, and it caused a huge uproar among students, among coaching institutes, teachers, and it was really unfair for the students. What is your take on this? And yeah.
Okay, so NEET UG and PG both are known to leak at some point of time before. And students, yeah, definitely students are facing the brunt for all this. So the what the bodies and the government and all can do is, what they are doing is they are trying to catch the culprit where it has released. But and keeping a re-exam, I guess that has to be done, because then it wouldn't be fair, right? It sets this this pace with which the students were going. It stops them in their tracks and they don't know what to do, like when you're giving the exam again. Right now, the for NEET PG, I think, so they, because there was some security concerns or leak or something, they kept it very strict the next year. They tried, they now they are, what they're doing is they're keeping two shifts, right, and with different set of questions, and trying to doing the normalization thing. So if one is very tough and the other is easy, see, this reduces the chances of any question leaks and all, is what they think, the security, because there are two sets of papers and all that, two sets of questions. So this, they are doing some stuff to reduce this thing from happening. And students are, they don't think it's a good idea. They are like, it's not fair, one exam is tough, one is easy, and then to normalize the process, how do you even, I mean, there's a formula and all that for that, but how do you even normalize this? Because when you're giving the exam, obviously you feel this is tough, I'm not going to do well, and then how do you rate yourself in that rank list? So all this is what has been done to offset that leaking issue. I mean, I'm sure, every year unofficially it's like people say paper leaks. And once I went to Telegram, and I was, out of curiosity, I just typed NEET essay paper a 2025 paper karke. There was a group and they were selling this for like some 6,000 $7,000 or something. Yeah, they were. And they said, and they also are so see, I don't know, it might be a scam for like who'll take students' money and then not actually give them the paper. That might be a scam also. But they had very specific set of instructions. They are like, we'll show you the questions at this time, at 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and you have to log in with this into our app with this username and password for, and these 3 hours you will be seeing these questions on the screen, but we will they have some in
Reported, like,
so this was, I think, reported, and then even the body, the whichever the medical body, they put out a circular saying, "Don't believe these scams and all." It turned out to be a scam, I think, but to think of the fact that it could have been true. Matlab, they were very specific about it also. They were like, you have to have a white screen on the back, and there's one person who will be observing you to see if you are recording this thing or something like that. So, and you have to look at these questions and kind of memorize them. You should not have a record of it or anything like that. So, to avoid any chance of them being caught or something. So, all this stuff happens under our noses. We don't know about it. These may be happening every year. I don't know. Because when you set some rules, people find a way to bypass it.
thank you so much, Shruti, for the response. And I hope that, the system is able to fix it, or we're able to find viable solutions to address this problem, hopefully. Uh, so we are in the last leg of our podcast, and I would like to thank Shruti one more time for taking her time out for this podcast and sharing her learnings with us. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new from this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more such engaging videos and podcasts. Thank you so much.